Hi, I'm Melody. Today I'm going to teach you how to make pancakes. Now, we have a large family, so in our family, we usually make a triple batch. I just use the Betty Crocker recipe, and we've made some substitutions along the way. First, you're going to add your eggs into the bowl. I like to add these first and whip them really well with the whisk. This way you can get the egg white broken up a little bit before you can mix in any of your other ingredients. You don't have to mix the eggs first, but it makes a smoother pancake batter later. Next, you're going to add in your milk. I'm using regular full fat milk here. You can use pretty much any milk you would like, it all works. If you have powdered milk, you can reconstitute that and use that as well, but you can also make this dairy free by using almond or oat milk if you need to as well. Next, you will add your oil. Here I'm using olive oil because that's what I have in my pantry, but any neutral flavored oil will work in this recipe. Give it a good stir so it emulsifies a little bit. You don't technically have to do this, but it helps make your batter a little bit smoother again. Next, you're going to add in your flour. We're gluten-free in our house, so this is just a basic gluten-free 1-to-1 flour. You can use regular all-purpose gluten flour. You can use whole wheat flour. Um, this recipe is really forgiving. Next, you're going to add your baking powder to this recipe. Because I have a bakery, we have a great big container of baking powder. You might have a small can in your house. Um, just keep an eye on how many scoops you're adding in. We accidentally added a couple too many because we miscounted when we were making the video. And you want level teaspoons here, so make sure you're scraping your teaspoon off on the edge of the container. We should have had 9 level teaspoons. We accidentally put in 12 here. You will taste a difference. Now you're going to add in your sugar. The original recipe calls for brown sugar. I usually use white sugar just because it's faster to measure, but brown sugar, white sugar, either one of them work really well in this recipe. Now you will add your salt. There's really no need for fancy ingredients with any of this recipe. You can just use generic, whatever you've got in your pantry. Here we are just whisking it up until the batter is pretty smooth. Because our batter here is gluten-free, we have a little bit more leeway for whisking it and getting most of the lumps out. If you're using standard all-purpose flour, you really don't want to beat all of the lumps out completely. Otherwise, your pancake batter can be a little bit tough. But here we like to get most of the clumps out. Now, again, if you're gluten-free, at this point, you're going to want to let your batter rest for 30 minutes so it can absorb the liquid in your batter. If you're not gluten-free and you're using regular all-purpose flour, just head over to your stove and heat up your pans. We are using 2 pans here because it's a lot faster for our family to do this size of a batch in 2 of the square griddles. You can grease your pans with cooking spray like we did here, or you can use melted butter. Melted butter tastes fantastic. Cooking spray is easier, your choice. We are using a 1/3 cup measuring cup here just to scoop out the pancake batter. And we are going to cook these on about medium low until the top of the pancakes looks almost completely dry and you see bubbles. The bubbles popping are the biggest thing that you're looking for. And then you just check the underneath, see how dark it is. In this case, if you can see the bubbles that we've had forming in the pancakes here, you know that it's time to flip them. And you can see that last pancake that she just flipped. The white edge there was up against the edge of the pan. If you're hungry, it does not matter. We're not looking for perfect, we're looking for edible here. Perfect comes with practice. We'll just let these cook. In a few minutes, she'll check the underside of them, see how dark they are. And when they're ready, we'll transfer them to a pan. Now, because we're making a large batch here, we actually transfer them to a cookie sheet and then put the whole cookie sheet in the oven on warm. So all of the pancakes can be served at once without the first set going cold. Now you can see the pan closer to the camera here is starting to steam. That means we need to get more batter on it or remove the pan from the burner. On my oven, that burner closest to the camera has a tendency to get really hot really fast, so I just know to keep an eye on it and turn the burner down just a little bit more than maybe the other one is set at, just so that I don't burn my pancakes. And with this batch, by the time we were done, we ended up with our pancakes a little bit darker than we had intended, just because the burner got pretty hot by the time we were done flipping pancakes. You can see the pancakes on the front pan there are already starting to bubble a little bit. They're cooking through a lot faster than the first ones were. Sometimes the pancakes don't want to go fully on the spatula, and so they may chase into the pancakes next to it. Again, this is really not a big deal if it happens, because you're going to eat them, not win a beauty contest with them. When you're completely done, pour some syrup on them and enjoy.